Students, from today onwards we'll start rational number, that is chapter 9. And before we get on with the exercise, let's understand what is a rational number. So as I've written, you see, any number written in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q should not be equals to 0, is called a rational number. Any number written in the form of p by q, students. P by q. Okay? For example, you can say 3 by 4, minus 2 by 3, okay? 2 by minus 4. These are all rational numbers which are in the form of p by q, where p is, in this case, p is 3 and q is 4. But you have to be very careful that q should not be equals to 0. That is 3 upon 0. That is, denominator should not be equals to 0. Now you will say, sir, numerator can be 0? Yes, numerator can be 0. Numerator can be 0, but denominator should not be equal to 0. Why? As I said that if you divide anything with 0, find 0, what's the 3? It is undefined. It is undefined. So for this reason, q should not be equal to 0. But if you divide 0 by 3, you see 3, what's a 0? 3 zeros are 0. So answer is 0. Okay, so it can be divisible, but this is undefined yet in mathematics world. So 3 divided by 0, we do not know 0 into what is 3. So this is the reason why we say that q should not be equals to 0. I hope you have understood. Now let's move on to the first sum of exercise 9.1. First sum is, write 5 rational number between minus 1 and 0. See, this type of sum, either they are asking 5 rational number, 6 rational number, 2 rational number, or 3 rational number, doesn't matter. The first and foremost thing that you have to see is whether the 2 rational number which are given. Now you will see, sir, this is not a rational number, isn't it? Sir, 2 is a rational number. Sir, 3 is a rational number. 4 is a rational number. But sir, they are not in the form of p by q, isn't it? Yes, they are in the form of p by q, as because when we write 2, we can write 1 also in the place of denominator, isn't it? So when you see the numbers which you see in the number line, they are all rational numbers because they carry 1 as a denominator. Okay, so when I'm asking to insert 5 rational number between minus 1 and 0, so minus 1 is also carrying 1 as a denominator and 0 is also carrying 1 as a denominator. So they are in the form of p by q, and in both the cases you will see that q is not equals to 0, isn't it? Now the first and foremost thing, when we say that insert 5 rational number or 6 rational number, whatever it is, the first thing you see that the denominator is same or not. See, both the cases they are carrying the same denominator, isn't it? Minus 1 is carrying 1 and 0 is carrying 1. If you see that the denominator is same, then how you will start? And I will also show you if the denominator is not alike, then in that case how you have to start. Okay, but the first thing, when the denominators are same. So how many rational number they have asked? 5. So what you have to do? You have to multiply 5. What is 1 more than 5? That is 6. Multiply 6 to both the numerator and the denominator, as because they have asked 5 rational number. If they would have asked 6 rational number, then you would have multiplied 7 with the numerator and the denominator. That means you have to multiply 1 plus more number, 1, that is a succeeding number. Okay, if it is a 5 rational number, then you have to multiply with 6. If there is a 6 rational number, then you have to multiply 7. If there is 4 rational number, then you have to multiply it by 5 upon 5. Okay, so now multiply it. Minus 6 by 6. Now we also have to multiply this also, and the same thing we have to do. 6 into 0 is 0. 6 ones are 6. Now you see minus 6 by 6 and 0 by 6. So there are some numbers in between, isn't it? If you carefully observe the number line, so how many numbers are there between minus 6 and 0? So we can write this: minus 5 by 6, minus 4 by 6, minus 3 by 6, minus 2 by 6, and minus 1 by 6, isn't it? So these are the 5 numbers which will come between minus 6 by 6 and 0 by 6. That is minus 5 by 6, minus 4 by 6, minus 3 by 6, minus 2 by 6, and minus 1 by 6. How many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Understood? It's as easy as this one. Now let's move on to sum number B. Now this is sum number B. Again, two rational numbers are given. Now what is the first thing that you have to do? You have to check whether the denominators are same or not. Okay, that is yes. In this case also, they both are carrying 1 as a rational, 1 as a denominator. So how many rational number they have asked? 5. So what do you have to do? You have to multiply with 6 to both the numerator and the denominator. That is minus 12 upon 6. Now what about this one? Same thing, students, same thing. You have to multiply 6. 6 into minus 1, minus 6 by 6. Now minus 12 upon 6 and minus 6 upon 6. So how many numbers we are carrying? I hope you have understood now. If you carefully see the number line properly, so that is the reason you need to know the number line. You need to understand number line very, very properly. So minus 12, minus 6. So we can write this minus 11 by 6, minus 10 by 6, isn't it? Minus 9 upon 6, minus 8 upon 6, and minus 7 upon 6. How many numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, these are all the required numbers, or you can say these are all the required 5 rational numbers between minus 12 by 6 and minus 6 by 6. Okay? You should put it in the box so that a teacher can understand which are the rational numbers that you are really showing. Okay? So I hope it is quite understandable. Now let's go to those rational numbers which carries a different denominators. Okay, that is different Q. Let's move on to sum number C. Now this is sum number C. Now in this case you see these are all these two are rational number. They are in the form of P by Q. Q is not equal to 0. But what you see now? You see that their denominators are not alike. So you have to make the denominators alike. Okay, for that the first step you have to go for LCM of 5 and 3. Just carefully observe all the steps very properly. So you have to find out the LCM of the denominators, whatever the denominator is. If you find that the denominators are not alike, the first step you have to go for is to find the LCM of 5 and 3. That would be 15. Okay, now you have to write this two rational number here. Now see what you have to do. What is the LCM? 15. Now this LCM you have to divide with this denominator. So what is the answer? If you divide 15 with 5, what would be the answer? 3, isn't it? So this answer need to be multiplied with both the numerator and the denominator. So the answer would be minus 12 upon 15. And the same thing you will do with the second rational number also. That is, divide 15 with the denominator. This is 3. That is, if you divide 15 by 3, your answer would be 5. So that particular answer you have to multiply with both the numerator and the denominator. So answer will be minus 10 upon 15. Now you see what I did. What I said that we have to make the denominators alike, isn't it? So we did. See, now both these rational numbers are carrying the same rational number, same denominator, isn't it? Now this was the first step. This is the second step. And what is the third step now? The third step is how many rational numbers they have asked? 5. So what you have to do? You have to multiply with a succeeding number, that is 6. What we did earlier, isn't it? As because those rational numbers were carrying the same rational number, so we started our solution from this point. But as because these two rational numbers are not carrying the same denominator, so we have to these are the steps. For this we have to make the denominators same. Okay, after that we'll go with the same process, that is multiply with 6 by 6, and the same thing we'll do with this also, minus 10 by 15, that is 6 upon 6. So this would be minus 72 by 90, and this will be minus 60 by 90. So there are so many numbers between minus 72 and 60, isn't it? So we can write just 5 numbers, 72 upon 90 and minus 60 by 90. There are so many numbers, so you can just select any 5 rational number between these two. Okay, so you can write this also: minus 71 by 90, minus 70 by 90, minus 69 by 90, minus 68 by 90, and minus 67 by 90. There are more, undoubtedly there are more, but I need only how many rational numbers? 5 rational numbers. So these are my required answers. Okay, so let's move on to the last sum, that is sum number D. This is sum number D. Again, we see the rational denominators are not same, so we have to get the LCM of the denominators 2 and 3.